Can you take us through the decision with Adoree and the idea that you're bringing him back, this close to the season starting?
Yeah, like we've always said, we'll try to improve the team any way we can. Obviously, we've had a relationship with Adoree. Shane has had a relationship with Adoree. He came in the day that he signed, did a little bit of workout. We've been in contact with his representatives prior to that. And he looked good in the workout and got something done. So happy to have him aboard.
You wish you had done it sooner? I mean, if you're going to bring a veteran like that back, would that have been helpful?
Yeah, there's always different times, Kim, that guys come back or you release them. That was just, something that we thought would help our football team. Again, there's been conversations with him prior to the day we signed him. So, we'll get him back in the fold here and catch him up to speed as quick as we can and see what happens this week.
And I know this is the third. It's a quick one, though.
Sure.
Do you envision him starting right off the gate?
Yeah, I'd say we got to get him out here and, ramp him up and see where he's at. And, we'll take it day by day, see where he's at and how much to play him, how not to play him. I think that's what we'll look at this week.
Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Jordan?
How much, what do you say to Nick McLeod and Cordell Flodden? How much do their roles now change potentially?
Yeah, I'd say, Adoree is his first day back here, so we'll see where he's at. And, by the end of the week, we'll determine, what we're going to do relative to roster, play time, all those type of things. Those guys are, competitors. It's the NFL. So you try to make it as competitive as you can make it, and, we'll play the guys we think give us the best chance.
And then in regards to your opponent this week, it's game week now. You're focused on Minnesota. The Sam Darnold you face now, how different do you expect that, or the same do you expect it from the Sam Darnold 2-3 years ago? Yeah, he hasn't started a ton of games since then.
Yeah, when we were doing the quarterback tour back at Buffalo, spent a lot of time with Sam out at USC, working him out, taking him to dinner, meeting with him on the visits. Got a lot of respect for Sam. I know he's been to 4 different places, but he's an athletic quarterback that has good head on his shoulders, knows where to go with the football. He's surrounded by some really good players at Minnesota, and experience helps at any position. But always been a big fan of Sam, and he's got a good team around him, a good play caller, and certainly a challenge.
Canavan.
Morning, Brian.
Morning.
As you go into this week, do you have a healthy team, or is Micah still a question mark, or what?
Yeah, everybody's getting better. We'll put the injury report on Wednesday, but everybody's getting better.
Is Musso the option if Micah can't go?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see how it goes this week. Again, we'll put that out on Wednesday. We'll have a walkthrough today. We'll start it up tomorrow, and everybody that's available will be ready to play.
Thank you.
Yep.
Brian's on Levy.
Hey, Daves. I got about Darnold again. It reminded me of that scene in Hard Knocks where you guys were going through all the quarterbacks and how many different ones have been coached by different guys and the lack of stability, different teams. How much of a factor do you think that is for guys? Like, obviously, Sam's career has gone differently than you would have expected in 2018. How much of developing quarterback is stability?
I think it's important. Again, not to revisit 2018, but Lamar and Josh are in the same systems. And, Sam and Josh, they're in different systems. Baker's been in a different system. So, again, I think in every circumstance, Ryan, every situation is a little bit different. But I think, I thought Sam was a good player coming out of USC. And, he's certainly been at a few different spots here, but has all the talent in the world. Good young man, good head on his shoulders. And, again, it's each situation is different. So, again, you take a look at just that class, the five. It was 5 taken in the first round. 2 of them are on the same team, and 3 of them aren't, or on multiple teams.
And then to switch gears, offensive line. What specifically, now that you've had them here and it's game week and whatnot, have Illuminor and Runyon added to your offensive line? And what is the expectation here for that group, knowing that they just started practicing together? Is it fair to expect them, to be game ready already?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'd say that the players that we've added, and I've said this too, Stinney included, have brought veteran presence, leadership, communication. They've played the game. They know how the game needs to be played. In terms of the 5 players playing, you're always, a work in progress. So those players have, when they've practiced, they've all practiced well, albeit not all together, but they've all practiced well. They've come in, they've worked hard, they're smart, they communicate with one another well. And the last couple practices we had here before the break, it was good to get them all out there. So, do everything you can do. That's just not them, that's everybody, to be as ready as you can go for week 1.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Dan Duggan.
Hey, I just want to switch back to Adoree real quick. You spoke, I think it was last Wednesday, you said you had an idea of what direction things were headed at CB2. Was that with Adoree coming back in mind when you made that statement?
Yeah, we've had conversations, like I said, about Adoree for, I don't know how many days or weeks before this, but we've had conversations. So, again, until it happens, Dan, you don't know if it's going to happen. Deals, if you will. But I'd say, now we're healthy now at that spot with Flott being back, and McLeod has been a dependable player for us. Adoree. So we'll see. We'll see where we're at here, but it's good to have Adoree aboard.
When you look back at Adoree's tape last year, I think the tackling, I would say probably left something to be desired time. I don't know if you would agree with that on this Zoom, but is that something that is a focus when you talk to him, or something you think needs to be better?
Well, I think that's part of playing defensive football is, regardless of any position you play, you have to get the man down with the ball in his hands. So that's something we stress for every player. But, again, he's been here now for this is his first day after we saw him when he signed. We'll get him acclimated in the system. It's one thing working out and doing all those things. It's another thing of, playing football. So we'll see where he's at. I'm sure he'll give everything he can give to try to be as ready as he can be.
Thanks.
Yep.
Tom Rock.
Brian, are you, just to go back to Sam a little bit, are you surprised at how quickly teams these days seem to wash their hands of young quarterbacks that they draft?
Yeah, I'd say every place, every organization is different. I don't want to speak for other teams. Again, it's a hard position to play. You prepare as hard as you can play, and there's a lot of things that go into, the success of a player, not just quarterback. But I understand the question because it is the quarterback. Again, every team is different. I don't want to speak for other teams.
Well, let's talk about your experiences then. The last 2 at least, you've had quarterbacks that you've stuck with and developed. Why? What made those decisions for you?
Well, that you can develop the player. So if they got a skill set that you think you can develop, you continue to work with them and you do everything you can do, whether it's design, whether it's personnel groups, whether it's different types of plays that they feel good about. It's consistent communication, understanding the system. There's a lot that goes into this position. It's not an easy position to play or coach. So, again, each player is different. Again, I was around a few of them here the last few years that have stuck and that have played good football. But my focus is one, our quarterback, Daniel, and helping him be the best player he can be. And I know that's where his focus is. And then 2, getting ready to defend, the quarterback of the opposing team, which in this case it's Sam. So, but in terms of situations, Tom, of why people are successful, why not? That's a long conversation, and probably information when you're not part of that organization that you don't have.
Thank you.
Yep.
Last one, Pat Leonard.
Intent to use Adoree as a punt returner?
Yeah, potentially.
Do you think he's in game shape? You said he had a good workout. Is he in game shape, football shape, from your judgment at the moment?
Yeah, what I also said, though, was that again, there's a difference between working out in the off season and then actually getting here and doing it. So he's got, today's a walkthrough. Tomorrow will be like a Wednesday practice. The next day will be a Thursday. So again, it's definitely not the same as going through a training camp and all those things. But this happens quite a bit in this league. So I know he's worked out. He looked good in the workout, in shape. So now it's getting into football shape as quick as we can get him into it.